AC Milan 0, Chelsea 2. Today, the day after, I'm more angry than I was watching the game. Someone needs to tell me, how is it possible that all these refereeing decisions seems to be happening with AC Milan whenever they're in Champions League? Last year, same thing happened in the group stages. A silly red card given to Frank Kessie against Atletico Madrid, which ultimately would cost us the qualification to the next round. The following year, exactly the same year, in the group stages at home to Chelsea, a game which for 20 minutes I thought was going to be a really good game. I genuinely thought this game is going to be a really good game. Two teams playing good football, and it was only a matter of time until somebody somehow unlocked the deadlock. Then from the 20th minute onwards, this referee decided it was going to make it about him. A penalty was given for a foul, for an alleged foul of Tomori towards on Mason Mount. Now, one can argue if it was even a foul. That's the first thing I need to say. It's very arguable that it was even a foul. But the moment a foul was given, to follow it, to double down and give him a red card is unbelievable. Unbelievable. He only put his arm. Mason Mount was in front. Tomori put his arms on him to try and make him feel his presence. He stretched. Keeper saves it. No request from no argument or anything of the sort from Mason Mount requesting a penalty. Nobody asked for a penalty. So it just goes to show that the players themselves none of them thought it would be a penalty. The referees pointed to the spot, pulled Tomori over to gesticulate to say that he pulled him back. Something that he didn't actually do. He didn't even pull him back. He just put his arms on his shoulders to slow him down a little bit, which is, as a defender, is absolutely legitimate thing to do. And to add to insult, on top of the penalty, he gets a sending off and completely compromises the whole match. Completely. From that moment onwards, Chelsea get the lead. And of course, against 10 men, you cannot play these games, these big games, 10v11. You just can't. Milan had to endure that for a good, 65, 70 minutes. Completely killed it off. And then from that moment, Chelsea really thoroughly took control of the game. And ultimately, it doubled their lead with Aubameyang. And from that moment onwards, you could see that the tie completely went away. The game went away from Milan. Albeit there was chances for Giroud, there was chances for other players to get a goal, but it was not good finishing on the night. That has to be said as well. But there was only 20 minutes of football to be played. It was a game that Milan needed to win. Now it's still with the Dynamo Zagreb drawing with Salzburg. RB Salzburg leaves it really open. Really leaves it open for the next couple of matches as to who can go through. Chelsea have now got their noses in front with 7 points, followed by Salzburg on 5 points. Then has Milan and Dynamo on 4 points, I believe. So it's completely and utterly wide open. All is not lost. But honestly, what is it with this scandalous refereeing decisions? The standard of refereeing in the Prem is poor. In Serie A, it hasn't been that much better. But the Champions League have just taken this to a next level of absolutely shocking refereeing, which yet again has cost Milan. We move on, guys. We move on to the next game. We'll speak in the next few days. Forza Milan.